Well, if someone says to me again, we live in interesting times, I think I'll scream. Because, it's really a euphemism. But it's the way we tend to operate these days. So we continue to talk here within labour and business about a minimum wage. Government's discussing it as well. What should we have as a minimum wage? But, a minimum wage applies only to those in work. And that's a steadily diminishing number of people who are in work. And not just in South Africa, but globally. And the situation is really serious. And we need to get real. Very interesting that last week in an interview, South Africa's richest man, Johan Rupert, actually did get very real. He referred to us heading into what he said for some really bad and dangerous times. Now that's getting real, and that is true. But then he said the reason for this, the causes, were not only the growing wage and welfare gap, which we've gone on about at great length, but also, he said, because of the growing ranks of the unemployable. It's perfectly true. But these are not people who are unemployable or cannot get jobs because they don't have skills, they lack skills. Many of them do, of course. But all the training in the world is not going to get them jobs. There are many skills that, because of the onset and the continual growth of automation, are becoming redundant, increasingly. There's one estimate at the moment about the current situation that for every job, every process that is automated, 60 jobs are lost, and usually for good. They will never come back. Now, this is a guarantee for instability, for bad and dangerous times, as Rupert said. But at least some awareness is apparently dawning. For example, in Britain, the largest union in that country, Unite the Union they call it, it's a general union, has now put forward a proposal for a universal basic income. At the same time, in countries as diverse as Finland and the Netherlands, there is debate at official level about a universal basic wage. What this basically boils down to is that governments should provide a living, decent wage to all citizens, irrespective of whether they're in work or not. Now, is this possible? Is it desirable that we should do this? It's very interesting, but earlier this month, the Black Sash, that indomitable campaigning organization, staged a seminar in Johannesburg at the University of Witwatersrand, where they showed conclusively, I think, speakers showed, that social assistance, social grants, etc., not only help the destitute and the poor, they provide incredible benefits to society as a whole. So therefore, obviously, this is something good, something to be aimed for. But, and I ask again, is it possible? And even if it is possible, this is still basically a handout. And I wonder in the longer term if working people, educated, skilled people, would accept this, or, and to use Churchillian terms, would say, this is something up with which we will not put, in which case we again have a dangerous situation of instability. Anyway, that will be the focus of my Inside Labour column, which you can access on this platform, Fin24, tomorrow, and a version of which will appear in the City Press business section on Sunday. Until then, it's over to you. Let's hear what you have to say about this. Send in your comments to editor@fin24.com. That's editor@fin24.com. Until next week, that's all from me. Cheers.